Hey everyone, welcome back. This is not just a date input. This is the exact same wheel you feel on your iPhone, smooth, snappy, and satisfying to use. Today, I am building an iOS-style wheel date picker from scratch. 3 scrollable columns, month, day, and year, all snapping perfectly to the center, just like native iOS. In this video, I will show you how I build the drum layout with a pixel-perfect highlight band using only CSS, how I make every column scroll with momentum and snap using Swiper, how I handle leap years and short months so the day column always shows the right number of days, and how I store the selected date into an input field on Confirm. You can use this pattern for booking forms, birthday selectors, event schedulers, and any app that needs a clean date input without the ugly default browser picker. Quick question. Would you use this on a real project, or would you push it further with a glass morphism or dark glass style? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Alright, let us start with part 1. In this part, I am only writing HTML and CSS. No JavaScript yet. By the end of this part, you will see a dark drum shape on screen with 3 empty columns inside. That is our foundation. Everything else gets built on top of this. So the HTML is really simple. I am starting with a div called card. This is just the outer wrapper that holds everything together. Inside the card, I have a heading and then the main div called drum. Now the drum is the most important element here. Think of it like a physical drum machine. It has a fixed window, and you spin the drum behind it. The window always stays the same size. Only the content inside moves. Inside the drum, I have 3 divs with class col. 1 for month, 1 for day, 1 for year. They are empty right now. We fill them with slides in the next phase. Between each column, I have a div called drum-sep. That is just a thin separator line, 1 pixel wide. It gives a clean visual break between the 3 columns. That is it for HTML. 5 divs and a heading. Nothing complicated. Now the CSS. And this is where the structure actually comes to life. I start with the body. Min height 100 viewport height, flexbox, align and justify center. This just centers everything on the page. Dark background, white text, clean. The card is just a rounded dark box. Fixed width of 360 pixels, padding, border radius. Now the drum. This one is important, so I want you to pay attention here. I am giving it a fixed height of 220 pixels. That number is not random. It comes from a simple formula. Row height multiplied by the number of visible rows. Each row is 44 pixels tall, and I want 5 rows visible at once. 44 times 5 equals 220. That is exactly how tall the drum is. Then I give it display flex so the 3 columns sit side by side horizontally. Position relative, because later I will place the highlight band inside it using absolute positioning. And overflow hidden. Without overflow hidden, the items would spill out and you would see everything at once. For each column, I give it flex 1 so all 3 share equal width automatically. Height 220 pixels to match the drum. And overflow hidden again to clip the column's own content. The separator is just 1 pixel wide with a dark gray background. Simple. In the next part, I am adding the blue highlight band and the fade mask. And we are doing it with only 2 lines of CSS and 0 JavaScript. Let's go. So in this part, I am adding the highlight band and the fade mask, 2 pseudo elements on the drum, no new HTML needed. Now the one thing I want you to focus on here is this top value, 88 pixels. This is not a random number, this comes from a formula. We have 5 visible rows, and the center row sits at position 3, so 2 rows are above it. 2 rows times 44 pixels equals 88. Or in a formula, visible minus 1 divided by 2 times row height. 5 minus 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, times 44 is 88. Keep this number in mind. We use the exact same calculation in JavaScript later. The fade mask is working the same way. I'm keeping the gradient transparent between 88 and 132 pixels. That window is exactly the center row. 88 is where it starts. Add 44 and you get 132 where it ends. Everything outside that gets covered by the background color, which naturally dims the other rows. Blue band in the center, edges faded, and this is pure CSS. 0 JavaScript. Now I am bringing Swiper in. 2 CDN links in the head, and then I am updating the HTML inside each column. Swiper needs a very specific structure. Swiper div, then Swiper wrapper inside it, and slides go inside the wrapper. If you miss any layer here, it will not work, so make sure this structure is exact for all 3 columns. The slides themselves. We fill those in JavaScript in the next part. 2 things in the CSS worth noting. I am forcing every slide to 44 pixels with an important. Because Swiper has its own sizing logic, and without this override, the slides will not line up with our highlight band. And Swiper automatically adds Swiper slide active to whichever slide is sitting in the center row. So I am using that class to make the selected value white and slightly bigger, that iOS pop effect. Nothing new in the browser yet. Swiper is ready, but not initialized. Next part is where things get interesting. We write the JavaScript, fill the columns with data, and add the offset logic that locks the first and last items to the center. Let's go. First JavaScript part. And I am starting with 2 variables that matter a lot. Row_h is 44 and visible is 5. These must match what we wrote in CSS. Then I calculate offset from those 2. Same formula we used for the highlight band top value. Visible minus 1 divided by 2 times row_h equals 88. The reason I am calculating it here in JavaScript is because we pass this exact number into Swiper later. One formula used in both CSS and JS. Change visible to 7 and everything adjusts automatically. For the data, months is a plain array. Years I am generating with a loop from 1930 to 2100. Days I am not hard coding. I build them dynamically based on the selected month and year. Because February has 28 or 29 days depending on the year, and we need to handle that correctly. The days in month function uses a little JavaScript date trick. Passing day 0 of the next month gives you the last day of the current month. So JavaScript handles the leap year logic for us. We do not have to write those rules ourselves. The fill column function is simple. It takes a Swiper ID and an array, clears the wrapper, and creates 1 slide per item. Same function works for all 3 columns. At the bottom I call it 3 times to pre-fill month, day, and year. Now you can see the columns have real content. Months, days, years, all showing, but they are not scrollable yet. Next part, I am initializing Swiper with the offset config, and that is when the whole thing comes to life. Let's go. Now this is the most important part of the whole project. I am writing a create wheel function that creates 1 Swiper instance, and I call it 3 times, once for each column. Now there are 2 things here that make the centering work, and if you get these wrong, the date picker breaks. First, slides offset before and slides offset after both set to offset, which is 88 pixels. Slides offset before pushes the entire list down by 88 pixels. So the first slide starts right at the center row instead of the top. Slides offset after adds 88 pixels of empty space after the last slide. So the last item can scroll up and reach the center row. And because Swiper stops at the boundary of the first and last slide, you get a hard stop. Nothing goes past center. Second, centered slides must be false. If you turn it on, Swiper adds its own internal centering offset on top of ours and everything shifts. Our offsets are doing the centering. Centered slides should stay off. Free mode with sticky true gives the iOS drumroll feel. Momentum when you flick snaps to the nearest row when you release. Resistance ratio 0 means hard stop at both ends. No rubber band bounce. One more thing. I am using slide change, not slide change transition end. Slide change transition end is unreliable with free mode. It sometimes does not fire at all. Slide change fires the instant the active slide changes, always reliable. Now 2 things I want to highlight about how I am declaring these wheels. I am using let, not const, and I am declaring all 3 before assigning any of them. The reason is, month wheels callback calls rebuild day wheel, and rebuild day wheel references day wheel. But at the time month wheel is created, day wheel has not been assigned yet. With const, that would throw a reference error. With let, the name exists even before the value is assigned, so the reference is safe. And now last part, dynamic days and the confirm button. Let's go. Now in this part, I added button and input in the HTML and quick styling in CSS, nothing special there. Now the JavaScript, 2 things. First is rebuild day wheel. This runs every time the month or year changes, because the number of days is different for every month. February has 28 or 29, April has 30, January has 31, so we cannot hard code the day list. We rebuild it fresh each time, refill the column, and tell Swiper to update. The one thing worth noticing here is the clamp. If you are on day 31 in January and switch to February, day 31 does not exist anymore. So I clamp pick day to the max available index. It silently drops to 28 without breaking anything. Also the guard at the top. If day wheel is not ready yet, just return. This is the same let declaration pattern from the previous part. It keeps things safe during init. Second is the confirm button. I read active index from each wheel and use it to pull the value from the original array. One thing to note, for days I add 1 to active index because the index is 0 based, but days start from 1. Month and year read directly from their arrays, no adjustment needed. And that is the full picker. Scroll month to February, scroll year to a leap year, 29 days appear. Scroll to January, 31 days. Hit confirm. The formatted date goes straight into the input. And that is it. A fully working iOS-style wheel date picker, built in 6 clean steps, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I will provide the full source code link soon, so do not forget to subscribe and check the post tab for old projects' source code and code-append links. Quick question, would you keep this dark style or push it to a glass morphism version? Drop it in the comments, I read every single one. If this helped, like and subscribe. Next video, I am building the time picker version with looped hours, looped minutes, and auto AM/PM switching. See you there.